Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 23 of the Make It Rain podcast. 2 games for the rain. This might be a very quick episode, I'm not going to lie to you. Alongside the Hockey News' very own Anthony Collazo, I'm Joe O'Regan. Let's go. Welcome back to episode 23 of the Make It Rain podcast. This is all things Los Angeles Kings prospect related, at least for the AAA part of the deal for the Ontario Reign.
Mm-hmm.
Alongside the Hockey News Ontario Reign reporter, Anthony Collazo. I'm Joe O'Regan. Anthony, how are we?
Joe, everybody watching the pod. I'm good, man.
I'm good.
A little bit of a weird week.
I'm good. Just crippling, and then you have the smiley face right over.
Listen. We are recording this Sunday morning, and I'm not a morning guy at all.
Nope,
I was up
that's
till
fair.
probably 3 a.m. last night. Yeah, I don't like waking up. You know, I work at my job at night. The Rain, they play at night. We usually record at night.
Unless they're in Calgary.
So I'm good. I think after this pod, I'm gonna go back to sleep, take a nap.
Sounds about right.
But the Rain, 2 games this week, Friday, Saturday. Kind of a weird week how they rarely have like no games at home, like not even one, and they had 2 games in Colorado.
Yeah. 2 games in Colorado, and Colorado is an hour ahead, so it's like, we're already so far away. Why even bother watching? Like, it's kind of like that feeling.
It's another thing too, is like 6 o'clock here and 7 o'clock feel very different. It feels like, let's say 7 o'clock, my day's over. Like I can sit down, watch some rain,
Like
6 o'clock is like, I feel like I'm still going with my day,
absolutely agree. And I'm kind of the same way. Anyways, we're not going to talk about our own personal lives in that matter. This is an Ontario Reign podcast. Let's get into all things, or actually, no, let's just get into LA Kings or Ontario Reign news. It's Ontario Reign only this week. So Parker Burge is up. We talked about Parker Burge a couple of episodes ago on the people who've been shining with the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. He's up. Drew Krebs is back down to the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. And trade alert, beep-whoop, 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 beep-whoop. Tyler Madden has been dealt to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for, is it left-hand defenseman?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, left-hand defenseman Joseph Ciccone or Ciccone? It's one or the other.
I think it's Sassoni.
I'm pretty sure it's Ciccone as well.
If you guys can't tell, we didn't watch the games this weekend. If you can like read through the tea tree or the grapevine, tea trees,
Sure.
tea leaves, the tea leaves.
Yeah, the tea leaves. Yeah, I've never heard anyone say that
Tree
in my
leaves.
life. I've heard grapevine. I haven't heard tree leaves ever. But anyways, that's about it. Tyler Madden's been at the Ontario Reign for 5 years. We wish nothing but the best for Mads in probably the Iowa Wild because he's not going to Minnesota. Let's be real here.
No, AHL deal. It's tea leaves.
Okay. I've never heard of that in my life. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, so the Reign go into this week first, and they end the week. Actually, we'll talk about that after we break down these 2 games. With that being said, nothing else really going around the Ontario Reign, so let's get into the games this week. Reign had 4 days off, right? Monday through Thursday, they were off.
They played last Sunday, right?
Yes.
So Monday, Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, they had 4 days off. Great time to re-energize for the team. And then they head to Colorado for 2 against the Colorado Eagles. As I said last podcast, you need to walk out of this with 2 points. Spoiler, they didn't do that. This episode of the Make It Rain podcast is brought to you by Gowdy Law. We know having a game plan is key when it comes to your family's future. Are you ready? Gowdy Law is here to help, specialize in estate planning. Gowdy Law ensures your loved ones are protected from losing a ton of money and time to probate when you pass away. Just like on the ice, preparation matters. Don't wait till the last minute to make the right play. Visit GowdyLaw.com today to start planning for the future. Get estate planning pricing and a free consultation right on their website. It's literally that simple. The price is right on their website. Gowdy Law, make estate planning easy to understand when affordable. The link is in the description. Let's go in to both games. We're going to do both games at once right now. He's covering game 1. I'm covering game 2.
The Ontario Reign head up to Loveland, Colorado to take on the Eagles. It was actually a good first period for Ontario, but in the second, in all ways, the Eagles could have scored. Yeri Inala goes through Copley's 5-hole. It is 1-0. Not too long after, Jake gets wise on Ontario and makes it 2-0. Chris Wagner makes it 3-0 in the third before Jake once again gets wise. That's what you get for releasing me. Is probably what he said. 4-0. Eagles win.
Tomorrow. All right, let's rematch in the Mile High area. Here we go. Martin Chromiak hits the post 5 minutes in. And Ty Felber backdoor cashes in on the power play. Tic-tac-toe. It's 1-0 Eagles. 6 minutes later, somebody tell Riley Walsh that somebody's got in through the back door. Chase Bradley scores a wide open snapshot. Absolutely no chance. Copley stops it. It's 2-0 through 20 minutes in Loveland in the second period. Anaheim Ducks legend Chris Wagner scores, and it's 3-0. And in the final frame, Ty Felber scores his second of the game, an empty netter from center ice. And the Ontario Reign walk out of Colorado with no goals, no points, and they lose both games by the final of 4-0. That right there is the perfect way to sum up that week, or those 2 games specifically.
No goals, no points. I mean, nothing good came out of this weekend. We got a lot of our analysis from Kyle from Hockey Royalty. Tried to get him on, but he has some family business to take care of. So
Here we
unfortunate, because this would have been the perfect week for him to come on. But
yeah,
basically the premise of this weekend. Marco Sturm, kind of no energy this weekend in Colorado is his kind of message to the fans when he's going through media.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. Colorado's a hard place to play, Mile High area. If you're not living there and playing there often, you're not used to
tough.
it. Yeah,
it gets tough.
It's very, very tough, which could be a reason why Utah has been slightly better than what the Arizona Coyotes were. It's because when you go to Utah
is, I think,
it's elevated,
almost as tall as Denver.
Yeah, so
it's close.
No energy. You're winded up there. It's hard to play. The Reign all weekend couldn't finish on opportunities. Prime example is Martin Chromiak hitting the post. Call it unlucky. I call it a skill issue. He's been doing that all year, where he gets close to the net, can't finish it. Skill issue.
He's got 90% of it done. Can't do the last 10.
Yeah, exactly. He looks good getting to the net, and then after that, I don't know what happens.
Yeah, breaking into the Reign power play, just getting stopped on all fronts. So when the Reign get their power play, like as the power play 1 unit, I'm going to point out Friday specifically, there was a time in the second period where they did go on the power play. They end up botching a pass, leaving the zone. And even with Martin Chromiak skating the puck in, who's probably one of the better skaters for the Ontario Reign, or actually the second best in my opinion behind Studnicka, he can't enter the zone.
Yeah.
That's a testament to how Colorado plays, and Colorado is a good team. And we made and I made the statement before, I haven't done on the podcast and all. How did Colorado end up with 1 All-Star is something I'll never understand.
That is pretty crazy. Something interesting to look at. We were talking about this before the podcast. Studnicka is back on the line with Fagemo.
Oh, he is.
And Chromiak. Lee Hellenius Ward was the second line.
That was the energy line in the playoffs last year.
It was. Big boy line, he calls it.
Yep.
And or no, that would be Lee Hellenius.
Doty.
Hodgson.
Or Hodgson.
And Doty, yeah, for
back
sure.
and forth. Yeah, and then Chromiak, Studnicka, Fagemo on the third line, and the fourth line is Element, Pinelli, Doty. So, defensively, stuff's getting mixed up a little bit. Hickett's Moir and Dvorak Walsh have been the same. Gosh, somebody get Rowe a consistent line mate now, because we don't know what's up with Angus Booth.
It was Booth Rowe for a while, and then he started going to Booth Jones a lot as of recently before they both went down with an injury.
Yeah, the line that is hurt right now. So now it's Sissoni Rowe. So
yeah, I didn't expect Sissoni to meet the team of Colorado. I thought the Reign would have wanted him to practice a little bit with the team. I don't know, man. I don't know. You can play Monday morning quarterback and say why did he change a line that's working in Lee Studnicka Ward. Udon's back on that first line after the way he's been playing recently.
Yeah. So a lot of things that you could say. I think a Lee Studnicka Fagemo line would work really well. Like I broke into this when we were talking before the podcast started. Andre Lee is the physical presence who also can shoot the puck. Like don't get that twisted. Studnika's the playmaker / skater, and Fagimo's the shooter.
Yeah.
Like, that just makes too much sense to put those three on a line.
I
But,
also
like,
don't know if I like Fagimo on the right side.
yeah, he should be on the left side.
Yeah, I don't
However,
understand
it's fairly unconventional to put a right-hand shot at the left wing. At least with lines. Like, if you notice this, like, Hudon, Lee are both... Actually, wait, Chromiak shoots right-handed. Never mind, so that doesn't matter.
I just feel like Fagimo's one-timer. You need to,
Like, yeah. Sorry, Fagimo's a better shooter than Chromiak.
Yeah.
And I could say that any day of the week.
Fagimo has been struggling, man. Let me pull up his stats real quick. I don't think he scored in a minute, man. I mean, he got hurt. But, like, even before he got hurt, I feel like he hasn't really...
He's been scuffling.
He's been struggling bad, dude. He hasn't scored since January 21st versus Calgary.
Yeah, that's over a month for obvious reasons.
And then before that, it was at Abbotsford, January 15th.
Yeah, and then you had the consistent stretch of 1 and 2 goals for him.
I mean, he was on pace to break his own record.
Yes,
And that's not going to happen anymore.
No, it's not gonna happen. Fagimo might put up 30 goals this year now. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with the kid from Sweden, and let's see what happens, how the Ontario Reign respond next week. We're not even gonna try breaking into that. You want to get into the goals though?
Yeah, let's get into the goals.
Colorado had 8 goals, so we're gonna be in for one, surely.
Colorado doesn't. They don't have like the scoreboard on there, so I'm trying to find it as best as I can.
Yeah. All right, first goal. My gosh, this is just gonna make me sick. Jerry Anala, it's a 3-on-1. Riley Walsh has absolutely zero chance. I mean, it's him. I believe that's Magna, who's 21. Yeah, Jason Magna, and then 15, who's Chris Wagner, and then like just wide open. Second goal, Jake Wise. Shorthanded, by the way. And it's 2-0. Almost a carbon copy play. Third period, Chris Wagner on the power play. So Jack Sean gets a shot in front, and I mean, I want to say that was from a tight angle. McDonald from a tight angle, squeaks by Copley, and then from the crease, basically, Chris Wagner scores. And then the empty netter, Jake Wise. Second goal of the game. Rain had this guy, by the way, in September, and not anymore.
And not even.
Final, 4-0. All right, game 2. Game 2, Ty Felber on the power play. Great pass from Matthew Phillips from the left point. That's an unbelievable feed. And then second goal, Chase Bradley, pretty much like, I want to say carbon copy. Like, it was nearly the same goal. However,
that was the same goal.
That was the exact same goal, actually. Excuse me.
Well, I mean, it was pretty similar.
Yeah, it was. I mean, tic-tac-toe. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Second period, Chris Wagner scores his second in as many games. Back up, set. Yep, there you go. Enters the zone. Millar tries to play the back check. He gets caught falling asleep. And Fagimo doesn't even try. And Wagner goes across and beats Copley by the glove. It's 3-0. And we got a blowout in Loveland. And then 16:04 into the third period with about 4 minutes, 3:56 left when the goal was scored. Ty Felber from the penalty boxes, center ice, scores. 4-0 final.
I'm surprised they haven't given Jordan McKay a shot yet.
They're going to. They're going to eventually.
I mean, two back-to-back weekends where Copley gets both starts.
Yeah. And then, Copley just got manhandled.
I really wonder what happened to Portillo. Like, I really do wonder. I mean, he had a good game against Calgary, and then next thing you know, he's out.
Something had to have happened.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe he was sick, and we were reading too much past it.
Just like the common thing with Portillo. Portillo's sick. Like, if you remember the
No, yeah, exactly.
start of the year.
Yeah, it's like he's sick. He's gonna be out for a couple games. Call up McKay, And now it's
so
been,
much for that one.
Now it's been 2 weeks, and it's like,
now we're worried.
okay, like where's Portillo at? What did he tweak? Was it a groin issue? That's very common with goalies.
Yep.
I don't know. It's interesting, and the Kings won't tell us because
No, it's not the Kings. It's the AHL won't tell us. The AHL and injury reports don't go together. It's like water and oil.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why that's a thing.
I don't know. Who knows? That's besides the point. That covers about everything we need to cover in those 2 games. If you can't tell, this podcast is probably going to be a lot shorter than what it usually is. And that's just for the sole fact that, like, there's nothing to cover for the Ontario Reign.
Theoretically, the reason for this stonewalling is to protect the injured player.
My God. Like, do that in the playoffs. You can report injuries in the regular season.
Oh, so like the opposing team can't like target. I guess that makes sense actually. So like if it's a groin issue and he comes back first game, they're gonna shoot low on him so that he can stretch out.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Is it? I mean, should that be legal? Not really. I feel like the people deserve to know what happened because that's your audience.
Yep.
Without the audience,
you don't have anything.
you don't have anything. But I get it. I guess I don't know.
And I mean, yeah, nothing else really to say about that. So AHL stonewalling, Reign gets swept out of Colorado, and let's go into the Reign weather report brought to you by Reign. I have the 100%, and for the first time in Make It Rain podcast history, I am not giving it to a player on the Reign. It's Trent Miner of the Colorado Eagles. So Trent Miner starts both games for Colorado, and 29 for 29 in game 1, 26 for 26 in game 2. Boom, boom. Done deal.
Trent Miner, great series from him, dude. 6'1", 185 pounds. Obviously, catches left because we don't really see right-handed catching goalies too often.
Unless you're Askarov. And I mean, Trent Miner this year has been absolutely lethal for the Colorado Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, this guy's the Chris Drieger from last year for Coachella Valley, except Colorado has it this year, Trent Miner. And Trent Miner this year is 13-6-5-2, so 13-6-7. He's 500 in that regard, with a goals against of 2.18 and a save percentage of 918.
Yeah, that
make that make
crazy.
sense. Make that make sense.
It looks like he might have had an injury at some point during the year, or maybe is he the backup? Because he only played 24 games.
He was up with the Colorado Avalanche for a time after that Georgiev trade.
Oh, was he really?
And it was instead of Blackwood Wedgwood, somebody got hurt, and I think it was Blackwood Miner for the time being in Colorado.
Crazy.
So yeah,
that would make sense. You might be right.
That sounds about right. He's only played 2 games up there this year. However, he's probably been up there a long time. In all seriousness.
No. He made his NHL debut this year.
This year? Oh, really?
2 games played.
And he doesn't have a win yet.
What did he do? 13 saves, 1 goal allowed versus Washington. He didn't start that game. And then Chicago, 20 saves, 3 goals allowed. 850 save percentage.
Probably came into that game to relieve somebody. All right. Anyways, Eric Portillo has more wins than Trent Miner. That's going besides the point. Who do you have at the 50?
Yeesh.
I mean, do you want to even say anyone?
I gotta pick a 15 or a 50.
Like, I mean, you could go Martin Chromiak just for the offensive prowess, and he almost scored twice. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
I'm gonna go Jared Shaffrin for making the trip out to Colorado.
Congratulations. 0% is everybody on the Reign.
Yeah.
I mean, or the 0%, they got crushed by the Mile High or something, like, or the Cowbells.
50% can be the altitude.
There you go.
Yeah.
50%, 5,280 feet
Yeah.
up. That's what it is. And then the 0% is basically everybody on the Reign. Like, nobody stood out. No one looked good. Like, the only person I said had a shot was Chromiak, who rung the iron on a backhand. Great pass by Fagimo, by the way. I never really brought that up.
Have you ever been to Colorado?
Nope.
Never?
Or actually, if you want to count a layover in Denver, then that would count.
A layover? Nah.
Nope.
I mean, I guess that counts, actually. You've been...
It kind of counts, but it doesn't.
Do you feel, like, the difference in the air?
No.
No, you can't feel it?
No.
You probably can't feel it until you're actually doing something, huh?
Yes, that is true. Like when I was younger, I ended up going to the Grand Canyon as a kid, and the Grand Canyon is pretty high up for the people at home. And I was playing basketball with my dad, and I felt that immediately.
really?
Like, yeah.
Do you guys play when you go to college? Do you play in Colorado?
Not from what I know.
Do they play this year in Colorado?
Nope.
No, not at all.
Nope, not at all.
Where do you go? USC, Nevada.
They play San Diego today.
San Diego, Pacific, Utah. Oh, Utah. That's kind of cool.
Utah, yeah.
Fresno, Cal State Fullerton, UC Riverside.
All right, we're going through the Cal State Bakersfield. This is a Make It Rain podcast. We're trying to keep you guys a little bit connected here. Next week for the Ontario Reign, the Reign have 2 home games and then a road game. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. against the Tucson Roadrunners. I think it's like a family 4-pack night. Hey, get some tickets, come out and support your Ontario Reign. Friday night, I would expect the house to be packed on this one. They play the San Diego Gulls. Suck. Classic Rock night, 7 p.m. You better get there early because parking lots are going to fill up quickly in that one. I can assure you that. Then Saturday, they head to Pechanga Arena to take on the San Diego Gulls.
Yep.
Not very much else needs to be said. With that being said, thank you for listening to this short episode of the Make It Rain podcast in episode 23. He's Anthony Collazo from the Hockey News. I'm Joe O'Regan. Have a great week. We'll try this again next Monday, and hopefully the Reign do a little bit better than they did this past week.
Mehls Media Production.
Yes.